Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to Sarajevo, the capital of Bosnia and Herzegovina, my country number 70. I flew here from London this morning. I'm gonna spend here just a couple of days. So, one of the smallest capitals in Europe, one of the least visited as well. Let's start our exploration from the old town of Sarajevo, the heart of the city. It may not be the oldest part of Sarajevo, but this old town is the most important one. History has been made on the streets. Unlike other old towns in Europe, Sarajevo is beloved by locals just as much as it appeals to tourists. So it's where Sarajevans share coffee, see prakia, pray to their gods, and of course do their shopping. In this market you can find pretty much everything from weapons to matryoshki to Iran carpets, Aladdin lamps, everything. Look at this vintage shop. There is even a watch in the shape of Bosnia. Oh, so fascinating. It's full of old objects from the Yugoslavia era, as you can see here. So this uniform of the Bosnian army. Old TV, radio, phones, some religious icons as well. Bosnia and Herzegovina is a religiously diverse country. According to a very recent census, 51% of the population is Muslim, 30% is Christian Orthodox, and 19% is Christian Catholic. So that's why working in Sarajevo is so fascinating, because you can see church and mosque located close to each other. Guys, I woke up at 2 AM this morning to catch a flight at 6. I really need a coffee. I was told that Bosnian coffee is very famous, so let's try. Hello, Bosnian coffee.
Yes.
Great.
Famous in the coffee.
Famous coffee.
Yes.
The most famous in the world.
In Bosnia, yes, indeed.
Yeah.
Before Yugoslav. Where are you from?
Italy.
Oh, espresso.
Espresso.
This handmade coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Handmade? Oh, great. Oh.
Miracle. This is beans.
Oh. Wow.
And
Yeah, show
this
me.
story is old, 150 years.
Oh. Wow.
It's grandfather. It's open story, 80-90 years, and this family
So it-
business, family business.
Ah, okay.
Only coffee.
Only coffee?
Only coffee.
Wow.
100.
I cannot wait to try then. Okay.
Many people coming in this story
Ah.
for famous coffee. This famous.
I know this guy.
Yes, this is
Is the-
Petkovic.
Yeah, Petkovic, the football coach.
Yes, it's football referee.
Ah, okay.
Radmajic, it's Serbia.
Ah, okay.
This is pop rock music.
Ah, okay.
This is president of Croatia before.
Ah, okay. I'm not that famous to put my photo there.
No problem.
Not yet. My first Bosnian coffee. Let's see whether it's better than espresso. So it's similar to Turkish, apparently. So let's put some sugar here. Then apparently we should ole. Well, let's try. Wow, super strong. This wakes me up, absolutely. And this one looks like the entrance of the Grand Bazaar of Istanbul. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Actually, much more quieter than the Grand Bazaar of Istanbul, but the architecture is very similar. Also in terms of fakes, it's very similar to the Grand Bazaar. As you probably know, Bosnia has a very sad and bloody recent past in the 90s with the Bosnian War. And this museum behind me, the Gallery 11 of July 1995, basically tells the story of the Srebrenica genocide, which happened in July 1995, when Serbian troops killed more than 8,000 Bosniak Muslims in the small town of Srebrenica in eastern Bosnia. I just came out from the museum. This is one of the most touching museums I ever seen in my life. But if you want to know the history of this country, it's a must-see in Sarajevo. And almost at the end of the main pedestrian street of the old town, there is one of the most symbolic places of the whole city. Is the Eternal Flame, which commemorates all the civilians and military which were killed during the Second World War here in Sarajevo. So first impressions, the old town is lovely. It's amazing walking there, very nice vibes. But as soon as you walk away from the city center, the landscape, the buildings, the atmosphere changed dramatically. As you can see, I mean, there are a lot of buildings which are a bit run down or still show the signs, the scars of a bloody past. In the evening, the old town looks even better, like full of people. Everything is open and well, very nice vibes. Before crashing the bed, I wanted to show you my apartment here in Sarajevo. Just right behind the old town. So guys, this was the apartment with the highest ratings on TripAdvisor, actually 9.6. As you can see, the room is super modern, very spacious, a king size bed, a comfortable sofa, TV, a small kitchen as well. The toilet is very modern, a very nice shower, and so it's right behind the old town, just like 2 minutes walk. And I paid only €40 a night. Very recommended. Second day in Sarajevo. It's already 7 p.m. guys, because I've been outside of the city for pretty much the whole day on a day trip, exploring the surroundings of Sarajevo and the beauties of this country. It's raining as crazy, so the plan for the evening is finding a nice restaurant, but also I want to show you a bar I found online that should be very nice. So let's have a drink there and then we head for dinner. Let's go. Guys, while walking the streets of Sarajevo, very often you will see these things, these red signs on the ground, and these are called the Roses of Sarajevo. So basically the explosions of mortar that came crashing onto Sarajevo during the siege in 1992 and 1995 left their mark all over the city, and frequently on the concrete ground of Sarajevo. And those signs now have been covered with these red paints and are called Roses of Sarajevo. These are basically the painful scars of a war that this city had to face in the 90s. Here we are, guys. Probably you heard about Josip Tito, the former president of the Republic of Yugoslavia, who was in charge between 1953 and 1980 when he died. Well, there is a cafe in Sarajevo completely dedicated to him. There are also original tanks and artillery here from the former Yugoslavian army. Let's have a look. Mismo Titovi. How good is this place? Look at here. Actually, people can smoke inside, so the air is very polluted. But let's have a drink. Can I get the rakia, the strongest one? They also brought a huge glass of water, which makes me think. This rakia literally opened my stomach. Now I'm starving, so let's find a good typical Bosnian restaurant. So delicious restaurant, a very nice decor inside. So I had a typical Bosnian soup with mushroom and other vegetables, then a goulash with dumpling that was outstanding, and then finally, of course, a typical baklava. I spent like 40 convertible marks, which is around 20 pounds, so a bit more than the average here. But bear in mind that you cannot pay with credit card like pretty much any place here in Bosnia, so bring a lot of cash. Good morning, guys. Day 3 in Sarajevo. As you can see, I'm not very lucky with the weather today either, but before leaving I want to show you a couple of other places in this really surprising capital. Let's go. One of the most historically important landmarks of Sarajevo, the Ladin Bridge. So on the northern end of this bridge in 1914, there was the assassination of the Arch Duke Franz Ferdinand of Austria, which ultimately led to the outbreak of the World War I. Okay. What is the best? What do you recommend?
It's hamburger.
This one?
Yes, hamburger.
Is it big?
Big, small, big.
Ah, okay, big one. Okay.
Okay. Cheese cream, onion.
Onion, yes,
Onion.
thank you. So before heading to our last destination, this Sarajevo trip, I made a stop in one of the most typical Bosniak restaurants in the old town, called Zeljo 2. This is the menu. Look at this. So funny. I'm really starving, so let's eat something. Even Edin Dzeko was here. Look at these guys. Oh, that's awesome. Let's eat. We are now entering another incredibly important place in Sarajevo, the Tunnel Museum, over the famous tunnel built during the siege of Sarajevo during the Bosniak War. The siege of Sarajevo was a prolonged blockade of Sarajevo, the capital of Bosnia and Herzegovina during the Bosnian War. After it was initially besieged by the forces of the Yugoslavia People's Army, the city was then besieged by the army of Republika Srpska, lasting from the 5th of April 1992 to the 29th of April 1996 for 1,425 days. It was 3 times longer than the Battle of Stalingrad, more than a year longer than the siege of Leningrad, and was the longest siege of a capital city in the history of modern warfare. In a period when people were surviving without electrical energy, heating, running water, with almost no food or medicines, and living under constant fire from heavy artillery and snipers, the tunnel brought relief and hope. The idea of a tunnel occurred after numerous deadly attempts of running across the runway controlled by UN forces in order to get from the basic city to the other part of territory controlled by the Bosnian army. In those attempts, many were injured and also killed. Diggers were forced to use only very simple tools. Although it seems impossible, this 800 meters long, 160 meter high and 1 meter wide hole in the ground saved one town and one state, earning its title, the Tunnel of Hope. The Tunnel Museum is located just in front of the airport where I'm heading to. I'm heading back home. Well, actually, Sarajevo has been such a pleasant discovery, one of the most underrated cities in Europe, a hidden gem within the Balkans, and in generally Bosnia and Herzegovina. It's really worth a visit. The city has a very, very sad past, but it's really worth a visit for 2 or 3 days. Guys, thank you very much for watching. It's still raining a lot, and if you like this video, please leave a comment, share it, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see each other in the next adventure. Bye.